Okay. Good morning, everybody. We are here from Mansfield Parks Department, bringing you some fun programs to do while you're off on the break. Unlike some of our previous videos, this one is not live, so we are super excited to have you watch with us. But just know, if you comment and say hello below, we are not going to say hello back to you because we are not doing this live. We recorded this one ahead of time. So if you have any questions, you can still absolutely leave them in the comments, and we will respond to them as soon as possible. So again, I am here with Mr. Austin from Oliver Nature Park. So Austin does some of the classes we have at Oliver, which are not operating right now while everybody is off for school. We're also off of our programs at the parks, but we are bringing them here to you so you can do them at home and still have fun and learn while you're taking this break. So Austin, tell us what we're going to do today.
All right, so we've got several experiments lined up, and again, all these experiments are fun, safe, easy, and they're meant to be touched and played with. So notice we're not wearing goggles this time, we're not wearing gloves this time, because all this stuff is really fun to play around with.
So we don't need our safety equipment like we did when we did the chemistry experiments, but you still totally want mom's permission. I would probably still do these in the kitchen or in the bathroom, somewhere with a hard surface that can be cleaned. We're using our trays again. A cookie sheet is great for that. Any kind of tray that you can easily wipe down and clean up, just to limit the mess. It's not a safety issue as much as it is your parents are tired and they don't need to be cleaning up any more messes. So we're gonna try and keep it as concise as possible and try and not do anything destructive, but we're definitely gonna get messy and have some fun, right?
Absolutely we are.
Okay, so first we're gonna make slime. What kind of slime are we making? I know everybody loves slime, right? You guys have all made lots of slime. We're gonna make a slightly different kind of slime you might not have made yet. So tell us what this slime is, Austin.
Okay, so this is foaming slime. So this slime is going to foam up and give us a really cool looking reaction, and then the end product is gonna be a really fun, squishy thing to play with that you can just hang out with and keep and mess with it whenever you feel like. So
very good.
Can I get a funnel? Oh, sorry.
We're gonna get a funnel.
I meant to have that ready.
Okay, so the ingredients we're working with here are what? What have we got for our ingredients?
Okay, so I've got borax, baking soda, glue, and distilled white vinegar.
More vinegar.
So,
okay. And again, be sure and check in the post. We'll have a link so you can download the instructions for all this with all the ingredients and the supplies. And it's all stuff you can get at pretty much any grocery store, things like that. So we've got all of our supplies here together. Again, we've got a good surface to work with. We're using an empty water bottle, soda bottle, kind of bottle like that. And then we're using disposable cups
real quick,
some mixing things. Real
quick about the bottle. It's really important that we're using a 16.9 ounce bottle. That's just your standard water bottle. Like these are Ozark, I believe. So 16.9 ounces is actually that's the size bottle we need.
Okay, good. So not any kind of bottle. Water bottle. Very good. Okay.
All right. So are you? I've got two set up. Do you want to help me? Do you want to make some slime yourself?
Absolutely, I do. For sure, especially foaming slime.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what we're going to start off with is we're going to do in your cup. Oh, you brought your own. You're going to do blue and I'm going to do green. Nice. So two teaspoons of the borax. I've got borax in this container. I've got baking soda in this container.
Okay, so we pre-loaded these containers, but you can take it straight from the box just to make it a little bit easier here. So, okay, so 2 teaspoons, is that what we're doing?
Yeah, the borax, yeah.
Okay, good. So if you guys know, if you've ever cooked with your mom or dad or done anything with a teaspoon anytime you're doing the measuring cups like this, so you always want it to be like level across the top. Not heaping because that's more than what the teaspoon measurement is, but also not a lot of space left in there because then you're not getting enough. So you want to try and get it all the way level to the top. Right into our paper cup?
Absolutely.
2.
It's okay if it's kind of clumpy, because that's gonna.
And that was the baking soda or the borax?
Excuse me. This was the borax.
That's the borax.
And then we're gonna need 10 teaspoons of the baking soda.
Okay.
So I'll
very
go right
good.
into that and try to move quickly.
We're in count of 10. Very good. So you guys have probably made slime at home. Everybody loves slime. You might not know that slime is chemistry. So the reason when you mix those ingredients together, they get goopy, they get stretchy, they turn into something different. That's all chemistry, right?
8.
So like we did a video last week where we did some science experiments and we made things blow up and explode. And all of that is, like we talked about, chemistry is when you mix different forms, liquids, solids, and gases, or just 2 of the 3. And depending on what they're made of, it causes a reaction. And so a reaction could be bubbles, it could be foam, a reaction could be explosion, it could be expanding, it could be changing colors. Anytime 2 things mix together and there's a change that happens, that's called a reaction, and that's called chemistry. So chemistry doesn't mean super complicated science. It doesn't mean like test tubes and crazy mad scientist goggles and things like that. Chemistry is just when stuff happens naturally. That's just what they call it.
All right.
Okay, so we're ready to do some chemistry, right? So if your mom says you can't make any more slime, say, I'm doing chemistry, Mom, right? Right?
Yes, all right. So now we've got our borax and our
Baking soda.
baking soda mixed together. What you can do is, if you're using a paper cup like we are, you can pinch that to make sort of like a little spout, and go ahead and gently pour that into
So
your
what's in
water.
our water bottle? Is this just water?
Yep, this is just water. Oh yes, and before we start, we want our water bottle filled roughly 3/4 with just plain tap water.
Just regular water.
Yeah, just regular water from the tap's fine.
Okay.
You might have to have an adult help you a little bit with this because it does get...
What if you spill some out the side? Is that okay?
Yeah, it's completely fine if you don't get all of it in there.
Good.
You doing all right over there?
Yep, I'm good. Good. This is all totally safe, so it's fine. It's totally fine.
Worst case scenario, we have a little bit bigger mess, and that's why we have our tarp down on our floor, because we're not on a hardwood surface. We've got our tarp.
Newsflash, I'm always a bigger mess, so we're totally fine. All right, good. So we've got our borax and our baking soda that we mixed in the paper cup, and then we poured that into the water bottle with about 3/4 of the way full. Mine looks a little bit more full.
And just real quick, Tiffany, could you give these a quick rinse?
Okay.
All right,
We also
so-
have food coloring here if you guys did. I don't know if we talked about that or not, but we do have food coloring for fun.
Cool. So now what we can go ahead and do is, this is the fun part, or one of the fun parts, is we can put our caps on, and make sure you have them on very tight. And we're gonna go ahead and give those a shake.
Good. And while you're shaking, hold your finger,
Yeah.
2 fingers, whatever, on the cap, because just in case you don't have it all the way tight, you want to be sure you have it really tight. So we're gonna shake it up. Now we have a clean cup that we're gonna do something else with.
Yes.
And we talked about this last time, but one of the reasons when you're doing experiments, you always have to have either clean or new utensils and materials, is because otherwise if you have stuff left over, it could cause a reaction on the material. So it could mess up your experiment if you have remnants of some other ingredient. Yeah, ingredient, good word. All right, so we are all mixed up here. It's looking cloudy, right? Okay,
All
good,
right.
now what's next?
All right, so if you want to pass me the glue.
Okay, we're using clear glue. You can use,
Yeah, you can use white glue also. We're just using clear glue because that's what we have. So I'm gonna give 1/4 of a cup clear glue.
It's definitely one thing while we're all home on this break. It's always good to do projects that use stuff you already have. So use what you've got. Try not to go to the store. It's easier for everybody, and you get to use all your stuff up. So that's a lot of fun.
All right.
So we used 1/4 of a cup of clear glue, and that's it.
Oops, sorry. You also want 1/4 cup of the vinegar. This is where the
Okay.
vinegar comes in.
I do not like the vinegar. The vinegar does not smell good. But the vinegar is important because vinegar causes a lot of reactions. Is it the catalyst?
It's not a catalyst. The big thing in vinegar that starts a lot of things is a chemical called acetone, and that is really what's giving us a lot of these reactions.
So catalyst is a chemistry term that means
Oh, a
the thing that
catalyst-
causes a thing?
Yeah, so a catalyst is something you would add to a solution to speed up a reaction.
Okay.
So I'm not sure what's considered to be the catalyst in this particular experiment, but we're about to have a really fun reaction.
So this is 1/4 of a cup of glue and 1/4 of a cup of the vinegar.
Yes, all right.
Okay. Are we mixing this or we're just letting it be?
We are mixing it, and actually, go ahead and add our food coloring to this.
I'm doing blue. He's doing green.
Yes.
Okay. How much food coloring should we put in?
About 2 drops. is all you really need. A little bit goes a long way.
And food coloring is one thing you want to be very careful on because it will stain your fingers. It'll wash off eventually, but just try not to. So, and also if it gets like on surfaces or anything like that, food coloring can sometimes stain things. So, okay, so we're stirring up the vinegar and glue and food coloring, and we're using a plastic knife because again, we can throw it away and then all that glue and stuff is not going to be on anything that's going to touch food, which is ideal if you can do it. You can also use like a straw or something like that, or you can use a regular utensil. Just be sure it goes in the dishwasher right away because you don't want to accidentally use that on your lunch. That would be really gross.
Right. Yes. Okay, and so I'm clearing some things off here because this might get a little messy.
Okay, that sounds like fun.
All right, so I'll give this one last good shake just to so it's settled a little bit since we've been talking. Okay, give that a good last shake.
Now, which way are we pouring?
We are pouring the glue into the bottle, the glue and vinegar solution.
Good.
All right, so again, making our little spout so it pours evenly. Go ahead and go for it.
Oops. Oh, look at that. That is causing a reaction for sure. Ooh, it's like bubbly even.
Yeah, so foaming slime.
Look at that. Isn't that fun?
And the green.
Look at that. Ooh.
All right, so let's talk about what we got going on here. So go ahead and give that a touch.
Okay.
What does it feel like?
Oh, interesting. It's solid. It's like hair gel, kind of like a.
It's all one gloop, or kind of like Jello. Reminds me of the consistency of Jello.
Yeah, but you can hold it. Usually, it's hard to hold Jello. This is like an egg. You know, like an egg yolk. If you've ever like separated eggs with your mom, that's sort of what it feels like. Ooh. Can I take the stuff off the top up here?
Yeah.
Oh, it's almost stiff.
Yeah.
Oh,
isn't that fun?
That is fun.
You can squeeze it and be careful with some of it shoots out. But yeah, this is a really fun thing that you can do.
It's
cheap
definitely
and easy.
messy, but it's really, really fun.
Cool. And like I said, whoa. That
Oh,
part
don't do that.
So what I meant to do was do that over the waste bucket where you kind of drain off some of that excess
Yeah, so I was
water.
just squeezing mine a little bit. So I squeezed it a little bit and get a little bit of water off of it. And now it's almost like a little, it's kind of like jiggly. Like it feels like I could like throw it and it would bounce, but I'm not going to try it. You can try it if you're in your bathroom or something. Oh, there, I did a little bit. That bounces a little bit. A little bit, yeah. Don't throw it at your brother or your sister, right?
No, not advised.
Don't eat it either.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh. Oh, I see, because there's extra left in the water. Okay, so I still have a lot of water down here in my thing underneath my foam. So I'm gonna do this over the bucket. You could do this over your kitchen sink or bathtub or something. So I'm gonna turn it upside down and squeeze it to try and get the slime out. Here, so why don't you grab the slime as it comes out?
Okay.
There we go. Nice. I think that's about all we're gonna, squeeze it more. There we go. This is also why we use plastic water bottles, because this definitely needs to be thrown away. But this is really fun, and this we get to keep playing with. And again, we put the food coloring in, so we got the different colors, but you can do whatever color you want.
Yeah, you can get real creative with the
things.
colors.
Yes, we are almost even soaking wet here. I would recommend doing this like in your swimsuit, like get in the bathtub and wear your swimsuits and do this. But now that we've got it, look, it's really fun. I can squish it flat and make a little thing. Make a little. Oh, there we go. Look, I can make a little mask out of it. See? It's a happy face.
So much fun.
There it goes. See, it's a little happy face. Isn't it cute? You want to wear it?
I'm good, thank you.
He doesn't want to wear it. He doesn't want to wear it. Okay, but there we go. So now we did a chemistry experiment. We made some slime. If we wanted, we could play with it all day, but we're not going to. We're going to clean up because we're going to do another experiment. So again, we talked about this last time. Every time in between projects, we always want to be cleaning up so that we are not making too big of a mess, and so that we're not leaving little remnants of things that might interact with our next project. So,
Exactly.
very good. That was fun. What are we doing next, Austin?
All right, so we're gonna do something not nearly as messy, but really interesting anyway.
Okay.
Is there a way to get the camera to zoom in on this just a little? Little better?
Absolutely. I'll come over there. Oh, you want to do that? Okay. All right.
Okay.
So we're gonna.
Our helper is on it. She's been on the button today. Let me tell you.
Yeah, just angle down that way. There we go. There we go. Okay, so the only supplies we've got here is water, which we have it in a little like applesauce baby food kind of jar. But you could put it in a bowl or a cup or anything like that. And then we're using a little dropper, which you might have like leftover from some baby medicine or something like that. Or your mom might have one like for eye drops or something like that. Just be sure you rinse it out before you use it for this. It's only going to use water, so it won't damage anything else you're going to do. But it is possible to use it again for something else. So we're just using water, eye drops, and then those look like pennies. Are those just regular pennies, Austin?
Yep. These are just regular pennies, and you can really use any kind of coin. I'm just using a penny because it's what I got. And what we're going to be talking about in this experiment is something called water tension.
There we go. I'm just going to get a little bit closer. There we go.
That's a big improvement. Awesome.
There we go. Okay.
So we typically don't think of water as being sticky, but actually the hydrogen and oxygen atoms that make up these H2O molecules can actually stick together. And this is a really good way of showing how the water is sticky, so to speak. So I'll go ahead and let me just ask you, how many drops of water do you think I can fit on top of this penny?
How about, can you put a drop of water on the tray and let me see
yeah.
how big a drop of water is?
So
Okay, so that drop of water is pretty big. Let's see here. Let me see. You know what? I'm going to bring it just a little bit closer here. See what we can do here to get you even closer view. Very good. Okay, so that is pretty big of a drop. I'm going to say, let me make it even better here. There we go. All right. So I'm going to say you can probably get like 10 or so of those. Let me
10? So 10's the number to beat?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I'm thinking that looks like it's about, oops, sorry, let me just get a little bit. There we go. Okay, perfect. So I think you could probably fit 10 of those drops on a water bottle there. Or I mean on a penny, sorry.
Okay, well let's just see how many we can go. So count with me.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh wait, 11. Okay, so that's 11. That's already more than what I guessed there would be. It's also interesting because I kind of thought that the water would drop on it and spread out, like when you spill water on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you spill your drink on the kitchen floor, it doesn't stay in a big bubble. It goes everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. Whereas this is not doing that. See how it's still all just kind of staying in one little droplet there.
It is. All right, so we're at 11. So let's keep going here. So maybe I'm thinking maybe 20.
Thinking 20? Okay,
Yeah.
so 12, 13, 14, 15, 16,
19, 20?
21,
Okay, 22. We're
3,
getting close.
24.
6, 27. Oh man, 28, 29, 30. Okay, pause right there. Wow. Okay, so we are at 30 drops. I'm just gonna move the camera in even closer so you guys can see that. So you see how that penny looks like jelly? Okay, so that's with 30 of those drops. We have now this little ball of a penny here. All right, so let's see, Austin, how far we can go. 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38. Oh, there it goes. Was that on drop 38 or 39?
I think it was at 38.
38. That was pretty impressive. That was a lot. Okay, so let's scoot this camera back here and let's talk about this. So why, Austin, did that happen like that?
All right, so like I kind of was talking about a little bit earlier, those H2O molecules, because that's one hydrogen, two oxygen, right? Yeah. So
two hydrogens, one oxygen, right? H2.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
H2O. Those molecules actually can stick together fairly well when they're over a dry surface like this penny was completely dry. So it sticks together. It allows you to get that bubbling, or that the droplet effect that we were going for there. In real life, there are certain kinds of animals that use that and take advantage of it. So like water skates, or water striders, for instance, the little bugs that skirt on top of the water.
Right.
They're able to take advantage of that and skate along the top of the water because they're super light, and their legs are made to sit on top of this water tension. So that's just one example.
Very cool. So it works on a penny. Do you think it works on like a dime?
Yeah, absolutely. It could work on any type of coin that you have. It's just, if you were using a quarter, maybe you'd get quite a few more. If you're using a dime, maybe you'd get a couple less.
Very
So,
good. Okay,
yeah.
and could you, like on our tray, we have a tiny little drop like that too. So
Yeah,
it
we
might
could just
work
keep
there.
adding to it.
So does it matter if you, it seems like it sticks better when you add it right on top of the dome versus on the side. Is there a reason for that?
So like if I drop from the side, or if I go like way up here, since that droplet hits harder, it increases the chance of that breaking. Whereas if I drop it on here very gently, the water is just transferring from the pipette to the main pool. So
that's another way you can make the experiment to go into it further, is try dropping it from higher up, try dropping it from closer, try dropping it on the sides or onto different surfaces, and see what sort of difference that makes on it. And if you do it, we would totally love to hear about it. So let us know in the comments what you tried and what happened with it, and see how all the different variables change and affect your experiment, so we can all learn together and see how different things happen. All right, we're gonna do one more, correct?
yes, we've got one more planned.
Great. Okay, so this one is beach sand, correct?
Yeah, or it can be whatever you
We're
want to
going
call
to the
it.
beach, guys.
Some people call it snow.
Well, we would like to think about summer, so we're gonna say we're going to the beach. Switch over just a tiny bit for me.
Oh, good, sorry.
That's okay. I moved the camera, so we're just
Okay, cool. All right, so what we're going to start off doing is measuring 1.5 cups of baking soda, and we're going to pour that onto the tray.
So our ingredients for this are baking soda. This is conditioner, so regular hair conditioner. This is White Rain brand. So, ooh, coconut. I love coconut scented things. So is that all we're using, is baking soda and conditioner?
Yeah.
That's it. Super easy. So you guys can probably do this without ever going to the store. You can, as long as you ask your mom before using her conditioner, because she might have a much nicer kind of conditioner that she does not want you to use as an experiment. The cheap stuff is good, because then you can just use it. But definitely get something that smells good like this, because then you'll enjoy playing with it. And then just regular old household baking soda. Okay, so we're using 1.5 cups of baking soda. Again, we're doing this on a tray. A cookie sheet is really great to do this. I wouldn't recommend doing this straight on the counter, because it does kind of spread, especially the baking soda, since we're pouring it directly out. But a cookie sheet would be perfect if you don't have little plastic trays like this at home. And again, this one we don't have to use glasses or gloves or anything, because it's meant to be played with. But you do still want to be sure that you're in a room that you can drop something on the floor and it's not going to make a mess. Okay, so 1/4 cup of
The conditioner.
conditioner.
Yes. So
Great.
I did 1.5 cups of baking soda and 1/4 cup of conditioner.
Very good. Okay, so what are we doing?
You want to do the honors and pour it on?
Sure. Just drop it right in the middle?
Yep, go for it.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, we can maybe scrape out a little bit the last
I
bit.
wasn't sure if so I can use my fingers.
Absolutely.
You can use your fingers.
And now is the fun part, where we
Absolutely.
can start mixing it up with our
Okay,
hands.
so we're just squishing it together with our hands, mixing it. However, again, this is
slightly
this is
more
the
messy
messy.
than the
This is really messy.
penny drop.
Very good. That's totally fine. So the baking soda is kind of spreading out as we're doing it, so you got to kind of smush it back in, because we want all those little powders of baking soda to be smushed into the conditioner so that they all get wet. Because we shouldn't have anything that's still like loose sand, right? Like the
Yeah, you don't
soda.
want anything that's super powdery, because what we're going for is kind of like what you have in your hands, where it's the consistency of which You could make almost like a little sandcastle, or maybe I want to make, if I'm pretending it's snow, I could make maybe a little snowman.
It's kind of like a kinetic sand, is that right? Because you can buy that stuff, the stuff you buy, kinetic sand. Do you know what I'm talking about? Yes, Miss Tiffany says yes, it is.
Yes, that's a new thing to me. I don't know.
Yes, well, it's a popular thing to buy, but this way you can make it at home. So you don't have to spend any money, you don't have to go to the store, you can make it smell really good.
This does smell
Ours
wonderful,
smells like
actually.
coconut. It's coconut and hibiscus, so it's very fancy. Yes, we're gonna have very fancy. All right, look at that. So
You can make
it's
all kinds.
definitely clumping up more. So see, now I can make it or it does look a lot like snow because it's all white. So if our conditioner was pink, it would probably be a little pink.
Yep.
Yeah, very good. So if you wanted a color, you could use a colored conditioner. I wouldn't recommend using food coloring because it would stick to your hands. It would make your hands colored. But it is really fun because if you squish it together, it kind of holds its shape, but then it also like clumps back on. So
Make a little house or something.
right, exactly. So Austin, what would happen if we used a lot more conditioner?
Use 2. I'm sorry, what?
Go ahead and add some.
Oh, let's
Try it.
try and add some.
more? Oh. Well, let's just see.
Again, this is a fun thing to do, like put on your swimsuit and go in the bathroom or in the bathtub even and do this because then when you're done, you just turn on the shower and hose off. 'Cause
Tiffany, I think she just set us up for failure because she's laughing hysterically.
no,
No,
it's
it's
good.
good.
It's good. I think she's laughing at the idea of us being in the bathtub in our swimsuits. So.
Having a beach
I'm not
day.
saying we're gonna do it, but you guys at home should do it with your brothers and sisters. Absolutely. Yes.
It's a bit stickier.
Adding more conditioner made it good. It made it more sticky. It made it hold its shape a little bit
that's
better
like-
for sure. Yeah, it's almost Play-Doh now, but you can still sort of clump it up and make it into more of the little chunks. Yeah, you can kind of make like little things and that. So again, you can kind of think about like the way the experiments work. If we added more liquid, it would get more liquidy. It would get softer and smushier. If we added more solid, it would get more powdery, which we don't really want because we're trying to go for like more of the Play-Doh-y kind of effect. But you totally could. And again, that's how any kind of science experiment you play with it more. The more things you do to it, the more variables you try and change, the more you can learn about it, and the more stuff you can learn.
Yeah. Very fun, tactile.
What did Miss Tiffany do here?
My hands don't have it.
Oh, see, so Tiffany started with some clean hands and she was able to make this really nice little ball here. We're kind of a mess. So maybe that is all kind of sticky and clumping to us. So that's a really great tip is after you first get it all smushed up, rinse your hands off, dry them off, and then start over again and start just playing with it. And now, and you can play with it a little bit more like a real Play-Doh or a snowball if you want to call it snow. So, but I wouldn't recommend doing it in like snow hats and jackets.
Yeah, that's not
would
really.
stick to everything.
It's not really the season for that.
Yeah. Yes. And also, don't throw this at your brothers and your sisters.
Yeah, no, let's not have snowball fights. Don't
We're not
you?
gonna, we're not gonna throw it at each other. You totally could, but we're not going to advocate for that because your mom would not like that. So, okay. So, and then now you have sand, kinetic sand, beach sand, snow that you can play with for as long as you want. And when you're done with it, you can throw it away because it was just a little bit of conditioner and a little bit of baking soda. So you're not really being wasteful, but also you don't have to store it and keep it for a long time. It probably, does it store very well? Oh, it does store very well. So there you go. If you want to keep it, you can find like a little Tupperware Rubbermaid container, kind of plastic container. Just be sure you seal it up really good, you know, something with a top on it. And then you can take it out and play with it whenever you want, right?
Yeah.
Very good. Okay, and so this is another kind of chemistry, right, Austin?
Absolutely.
Anytime you're mixing things together and something new is formed or something happens from it, it's chemistry.
It is chemistry.
So there you go. Okay, we're gonna go wash our hands.
Yes.
But we thank you guys very much for joining us. There's Austin from Oliver Nature Park again, and we will be back again tomorrow with another video. We hope you guys have been watching them. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. We will get back to you as soon as possible. We hope you're having a great day, and we will see you all in the parks very soon. Goodbye.